When Joel and I first met through a blind date back in 1995, the first thing that I noticed about him was his sense of humor and his wit and his intelligence. He makes me laugh every day, and he still makes me laugh every day because we decided, you know what, life is really hard. And it's okay to be silly every day, so we try to have a little moment of silliness every day.
The little things mean a lot. When he smiles at something, when he's happy at something, I'm happy at something too.
Life is hard enough, life is serious enough, and this is gonna be a tough journey, no doubt about it, but I've decided we're gonna do the best that we can to make him as happy as possible and also to help us as much as we possibly can too.
My name is Barbara, and I'm Joel's mother. And I guess I've been co-caring with Joel for the past four and a half years.
My name is Cindy. I'm Joel's wife, and same amount of time for the past 4.5 years that we've been taking care of Joel.
I have never, ever heard of early onset dementia, ever. I've known that dementia happens to older people, but I was thrown.
Yeah, same here. When he got his diagnosis in the fall of 2018, I had never heard of early onset dementia. I honestly thought it was for something for people like much older. And the clues beforehand leading up to the diagnosis kind of put all the puzzle pieces together. And it was like kind of like an aha moment, like, okay, now I understand why he was doing some of the things he was doing beforehand. I mean, it was good that we could put a name to it, but I was shocked because he was only at the time 49 years old. So I was like, no way do people that age get it, but apparently they do.
We didn't know what to do at the beginning. We were absolutely lost, both of us.
He was really good at what he used to do as being as an editor. Like he was like, a crack editor, well respected by his colleagues, and then he was starting to have issues with his work with producers, getting more notes than normal, and he was having a harder and harder time keeping up with the work.
There was no way I was going to accept dementia. It's just not going to happen. I sort of thought it was depression.
There would be other times when he was doing tasks around the house, he would have, like, I don't remember how to do this, or can you help me with this, or I don't, and I would just get frustrated to say, but you've been doing this all your life, I don't understand. So it was kind of like, I need to find out what's going on, but I don't know what it is. But I had kind of a very sinking suspicion that it might be some type of dementia, but I prayed that it wasn't.
But I did notice there was a pause in some of his words, a pause in some of his thinking, but I went to my family doctor and I presented the case to him, and I said to him, it's definitely depression. We need a doctor for Joel to speak to, because nothing else, I wouldn't allow anything else into my head. It really was
It was a shock.
A fight and flight moment for me. It was, I'm getting off this chair, I'm getting on a plane, I'm running away, or I'm getting in bed, covering myself up. Everybody's wrong. It took me forever to accept this diagnosis.
Yeah, it was tough.
There was no way it was entering my head. Finally, one of the hardest things in my life ever is, I've heard of the Alzheimer's Society before. I had no idea what services, I had no idea. I wasn't prepared. I didn't need help. I didn't need help because there's nothing wrong with Joel. However, I picked up the phone just to find out what services they had. And the care navigator answered the phone, and I told her a little bit about our story. And she listened and she said, okay, we will get a social worker to call you back. I said, no. I'm just phoning to find out what services you have. And I hung up. About 6 months later, we were in trouble. And we were in real trouble. We didn't know how to communicate to each other or to Joel or what's going on. I still haven't. And that phone call was the worst, because I actually had to say to myself, this is real and I need help. And that was the beginning of the healing process. And part of the beginning of the journey.
To educate yourself as much as you can. I mean, it's going to be a big shock. It's a big blow. I know when I found out, I just basically bawled in the doctor's office. And then I was like, okay, time to figure out what to do. And, they said, get in touch with the Alzheimer's Society, and definitely do that. Get in touch, because they've got the resources to help people with what they need.
They've got pamphlets of everything there, which I didn't know until recently either, to explain it so that you know exactly what's going to happen step by step.
I wouldn't have the first clue. What do you do,
true.
you know?
That's true.
And they've been great with helping us, who to contact, if there's, a therapist we need to talk to, any type of treatment that we could get for Joel, that sort of thing. They've been great. So that's been really helpful for all of us.
They've become part of our family. They've held our hands right through, and they're still there holding our hands. And we hope their hands are still there in the future.
They have been nothing short of more than helpful, spectacular, I guess you could say, because they've helped me considerably, coming to terms with the fact that he's not what he used to be, and I have to kind of embrace what's happening and how he's going to change down the road. And it may not be something that I'm going to like, but that's something that's out of my hands, and I have to help him too and be happy in the current time. We don't worry about the future so much. We take care of the day-to-day, and I just try to want him to be happy and healthy and as well as he can be in this stage of the journey of the illness. I find now Joel seems to be more observant of the world around him. Like when we go for a walk, even though he doesn't have the word for it, he'll point to something. And I'm like, he's like, oh, look at that thing. And I'm like, oh, do you mean the squirrel? He goes, yeah, look at what he's doing. He's running up the tree. I hadn't even seen the squirrel. So I notice that he's pay attention more to the big world around him. And I'm so concentrated, okay, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now, right? So now it's kind of like, okay, so he's taking a step back and just seeing the world around him. And for me, it's also kind of taught me to take a step, relax, breathe.
Appreciate the little things.
Appreciate the little things. Take time, and somehow we'll all get through it. And for right now, we're all going to be okay.
I would say to a caregiver who's new at being a caregiver that they're not alone, that there is help in the community. They have to pick up that phone and make the first step.
I would agree. I would also say that be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself. Some days are going to be really, really hard, and you're just going to throw your hands up and say, I can't do this anymore, but you can. You have to rely on the Alzheimer's Society, the help that they give. Also rely on your friends and family, and think, I can do this all by myself. You're not a super person. You're not like a Marvel hero or whatever. If you need help, get the help, whether that be talking to a therapist or talking to a family member or a clergy person that would help you with whatever you need to talk about. Because I find for me that you'll bottle up frustration and sadness and anger, and eventually it'll come out, and it may not come out in very healthful ways. So you really need to take care of yourself.
Well, it depends where you are in the spectrum of accepting this disease. And I think generally for most people, though, to find what it's about, what lies ahead, what resources are there, who to phone, who to trust, get a friend, cry, get it out of your system. Everything is okay, you know? And let's hope to God that they'll find something soon.
Don't worry so much about what's going to happen. The future is inevitable. Take care of what's happening today and try to be kind to yourself and be kind to the other people around you, especially the person with dementia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good friends mean a lot. And when they say to me, Barbara, do you want to talk? I tell them nicely, I really appreciate you asking, but I save that for the social worker that calls from Alzheimer's.
And the therapist.
And now let's go out and have a beer.
Just try to be kind to yourself and get help from friends if you need it, you know? Because it's gonna be tough, and you need people that you can cry with, laugh with, hang out with, you know, share your hopes and frustrations and fears with.
And take time out during the day to laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that helps us too.
Yeah. Yeah, if we don't laugh at least once a day, then it's not a good day.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
we are laughing every day, which is good. So sometimes it's gallows humor, but we're still laughing, so that's good.
And we're still here.
And we're still here. Yeah, still alive.
So that says a lot,
That
right?
says a lot. Yes, it does.